As strange as it may sound, it seems like we've been living in a pandemic long enough now for it to start feeling normal. Most of us are familiar with the physical effects of COVID, like fever and cough, but one of the unattended social side effects of COVID has been devastating for a different reason. Humans are social creatures, and in a time when a lot of Americans were already feeling lonely, take a look at these two articles, one from MoneyWatch from October 2018, or this one in Psychology Today from February 2019. It seems like quarantine measures have exacerbated the loneliness epidemic. Now, isolation to this degree might be new for us, but struggling with feeling or being alone is certainly nothing new. Surely the Apostle Paul felt alone at least some of the time during his missionary journeys. And it's not too hard to imagine that Jesus may have felt alone during his 40-day fast in the wilderness. The early church knew the transformative effect of being together, and when Paul was away working with other churches or in prison and not able to physically be with the people he wanted to be with, he wrote letters as a way of substituting his physical presence. If you're feeling lonely because your normal Thanksgiving or Christmas plans have had to change, or you're just feeling a bit lonelier than usual because of all the different degrees of quarantine and isolation we've experienced over the last few months, let me encourage you to, treat other people the way you would like to be treated. Here's a few ways to combat loneliness and bless somebody else in the meantime. And all it requires is for you and me to take just a little bit of initiative. Have you been meaning to call an old friend, but just haven't taken the time to do it? You might have to play phone tag for a bit to determine the best time to talk, but trust me, I'll bet you'll be glad you set aside half an hour or so to catch each other up on what's going on. Now, I don't send cards as often as some people. My mom is really good at sending cards. But it's always so nice to get a card in the mail, especially when it's unexpected. What if you sent 2 cards to someone, one for them and a blank one, and encouraged them to send that card to someone else who might need it? And every week I teach a seminary class and a Bible class here for church on Zoom, a video conferencing application that's fairly easy to use. If you're technologically challenged, that's okay, but now is definitely the time to learn how to use some kind of video calling app, whether it's Skype or Zoom or FaceTime or whatever. There are a bunch of different options, and most of them are pretty easy to use and figure out. Then try this. Schedule a time with your family or neighborhood friends, or even the people from your Bible class at church or small group, and meet with them over one of these video calling apps. It doesn't have to be long, but I bet every minute catching up will be something special. Now, these are just a few ways we can reach out and build each other up. I admit I was better about doing these things months ago when the sting of quarantine was still fresh. But over the summer, I got busy and didn't think about reaching out as much as I used to. That was a mistake. And I've been trying to be more conscientious since then. Trust me, don't underestimate the power of a kind gesture, like taking a few moments to connect with someone can have. These little gestures all add up, and it's just one more way that the church can be the church.